Here today at the Maria Island ferry terminal. So Maria Island is an island that is 10 miles offshore of main Tasmania. Um, so we're at the ferry terminal here, waiting with everyone to catch the ferry over. It's quite cool, Maria Island. So they've got a Tasmanian devil colony on the island. They've got wombats that just roam free during the day. So we've got camping stuff. We can head out overnight, go and stay at an old penal farm or something. We're going to go and visit an isthmus, which is a giant beach connecting bits of islands. So it should be a good 2 days. Hopefully be able to get hold of some bikes on the island. But if not, we've got our bags. We'll just go for a walk and a wander instead. So, yeah, looking forward. Lovely. Just on the ferry approaching Maria Island now. See it in the background. Lovely. Just pulling into Darlington. The sort of main settlement of Maria Island. That blue turquoise water, lovely. Just walking into Darlington now. These trees are bloody lovely, humongous. Definitely not a native tree, so these would have been planted whenever the first sort of settlers arrived here, really. Beautiful big things. Oh, just about to cross the bridge into Darlington. So there aren't many full-time residents. Most of the full-time people on the island here are park wardens, park rangers, things like that. Just in sort of what would be in the central hub of Maria Island. We've got things like the penitentiary, so where the convicts would have lived. You've got the chapel, which was also a big part of their sort of repentance in the penal colony. You know, you'd have had people brought from all around the UK that would have ended up here. You know, they'd have had months and months on a boat and then been dropped off on this island. Yeah, it's a pretty wild little place, to be fair. It was then sort of converted from a penal colony into a working farm, so farming became one of the main use of the island then. So a lot of these are old farm outbuildings and things. Very cool place there. Looking forward to seeing some wombats. Lovely, we've just signed in at the walkers registration here. We've got a few hours now of hiking along to get to Encampment Cove, which is going to be our campsite for the night. So just getting an audiobook lined up. Glorious sunshine. Might take my jumper off actually. Yeah, it's definitely a lot nicer than it was this morning. Ooh. Lovely, yeah, we're just following this little coast track out to where we're going to be camping tonight. But the beaches here are phenomenal. Just turquoise, white sands. Ah, bloody beautiful. So the plan is that we're going to follow this out, dump our stuff at the campsite and then head out to an isthmus, which is like a sandbar that connects two sections of the island together. So we're going to go for a bit of an explore along there and hopefully find somewhere out of the wind, because it is quite a cold wind. There's a nice turquoise beach that we can maybe go for a dip or something like that. Oh, it'll be bloody lovely. But this is a glorious path. It's like so easy and nice to follow. Ugh. So yeah, about 10k or so that way, and then we'll be at our campsite for the night. We stopped off a little bit at this beautiful bay. Super turquoise water. Just had like a bit of a snack and a bit of water and a bit of a chill here. It is bloody beautiful. So we've now got to kind of walk along the beach that way to re-find our track just the other side of the beach. Oh, gorgeous. You can see the mainland of Tasmania over there. Beautiful. What a lovely, lovely place. Just picked up this shell off the beach because it's just pretty. It's a really cool shell. And I had a look inside it, and you got the little crab inside it. Just chilling. I don't know if he's alive or dead. He's been up baking on this beach for a while, so I might do. Let's go and just plonk him down in the water, see if he comes back to life. See if he's just chilling in here. Little hermit crab chilling out in there. Let's plonk him back in the water, see what happens now. Yeah, I think he might be dead. Put him in there, see what happens. Doesn't look like much movement. Oh, wet feet. Too hot. If I throw him out into that sandy bit, and he can kind of like keep moving, then if he is alive, he's got some hope of surviving out there. He can get back onto the sand and get himself walking around the place, rather than being washed up on this beach, getting back around the rocks. Well, that was very unexpected. I've never seen like a big hermit crab before, and a big old shell. Very good. Lovely, yeah, we're still following this same track. It's kind of turned inland a bit now. It's still what they call the coast road, but yeah, the last couple of Ks, I'll be honest with you, have been quite boring. There hasn't been much on the go. It's like nice-ish forest and stuff. It's just a bit hot and a bit flat and a bit, you know, not much to it. Did see a wallaby, which was quite cool. That's about it really for the last little bit. So I've probably got about an hour or so until we get to the first of our possible campsites, which is Frenchman's Farm. And that, I think, looks down on the isthmus. So might stop there. It looks like it's quite close to the beach, so but we'll see. We'll see what it's like when we get there now. But yeah, not much to report really. It is still quite nice though. It's nice being able to be in shorts and t-shirt in January. That is a nice thing. Yeah, on our way, still cruising. No wombats yet, or Tasmanian devils. Nice, so we've just decided, we had a quick look at the Frenchman's Farm, which is the campsite just behind us here. It's quite sheltered from the wind, but there's not really much of a view, but so we've sort of thought, we're going to go on to the furthest campsite, and yeah, we'll set camp up there because it's right on the water, so hopefully we'll have some lovely views out across the bay, over at the isthmus and stuff on the far side. But worst case, if it is horrible there, we can just come back and stay here. So there's, yeah, a few plans there. But I didn't get any video of the campsite because there's a couple of families and stuff staying there, so I thought out of respect, isn't it? But yeah, 5 o'clock, 4:30 now, so we should be at this next place by 5, and then yeah, we can start getting ourselves together, sorting our campsite out and all those sort of lovely things. Should be some brilliant views though of the rest of the south part of the island and all that sort of thing from this encampment cove. Just spotted a little echidna, which is like a hedgehog, just strutting around. A lot of the thing with Maria Island is that a lot of the animals have no natural predators, so they're a lot happier just to be out in the day. So there's a little kid out there, just strutting around. Very cool. Just wombling off there. Ah, class. Only thing left to see now is a wombat. So we are about 15 minutes away from our campsite now. So just going to keep moseying around. So we've just arrived at our campsite. Beginning to worry a bit we might not see a wombat. But there's one just chilling, eating. Just strutting around the place just by the toilet. That's cool. Bloody big wombat. Isn't phased at all that we're here. Oh, he spotted us. Very cool. You can just see the turquoise ocean behind us. Lovely. We have got our campsite tent set up there. Stove on the go. We have noodles, shrimp tom yum flavour noodles and pepperoni salami with some freeze-dried tasty cheddar and some protein mix, lightly cooked and seasoned, crispy and delicious green pea, young soybean and chickpeas as well. So an absolute feast is on the cards for tonight. So I am definitely quite hungry now. Yes, we've still got our mate, the wombat, chilling out down there as well. Just meandering around the place. Lovely. So what we're doing is we've got my little mini stove there, so we're boiling the water for that, and then we've got two pots to eat out. We've got that one and that one. So Lowri's loaded that up with noodles and some peas and some pepperoni and stuff. Oh God, this is all boiling. Ooh. Turn it off. There we go. And then what I'll do then is I'll then put my stuff in the leftover water in the pot. That's what we did the other day and it worked quite well. Gotta put you water over the top of all of that. Whoop, hat. There we go. It's all drizzled and dosed in water. And then I'll add my noodles into there. Bloody lovely. There you go. A little sort of noodly broth type thing. Some meat, peas, bits and pieces like that. It's good because you kind of get a bit of hydration, some good salt in you, bit of fat, bit of protein, bit of carbohydrate. And there you go, some freeze-dried cheese, cheddar cheese in there. Absolutely lovely. Going on a little walk this evening, just to get out of the forest, have a good look around. So I'm here on this little peninsula that sticks out. One of the reasons I came is I wanted to come and have a look at this building here. So this island was a penal colony, where they brought, Brits from, folks from all over the UK, got shipped out to Australia. For poor behaviour, they got moved to places like this or Port Arthur, which is a bit further south of here. And what they would have done is they would have worked, tended the land, farmed, chopped lumber for the lumber industry for export, all sorts of things like that, and they'd have served out, a vast majority of their life working somewhere like this. These are the cells that they would have been kept inside of. So you can kind of see how small they are here. You know, they're probably 4 foot side to side. Like, you know, I can touch both walls quite easily. So it would have been locked in them overnight then. So I've actually got one here that talks a little bit about the history of it. So this would have been a cell that someone would have been, you know, spent their nights in, lived out of. It's pretty wild. So this would have been part of like a courtyard complex here. So this was for the sort of worst behaved prisoners were in here, and the rest would have been in kind of huts dotted around here. It's a pretty wild place to be. I visited like the Port Arthur sort of museum a little while ago, and yeah, there was surprising how many like youngsters were shipped out here for things like stealing a handkerchief. So they would been, you know, 10, 11, 12 years old, stolen a handkerchief, put on a boat for 6, 7, 8 months out to somewhere like this, and then forced to work then for 10 years, 14 years, something like that. It's absolutely wild, before eventually earning the right to become free men, and then, you know, finding some land or getting given some land on the mainland of Tasmania or up in Australia or somewhere like that. Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. And this is a beautiful place now though. The once the penal colony here was closed down, it kind of got divided up into farming plots for people to come and live here and farm. It was eventually abandoned because of the lack of water and the struggle to get resources here and stuff. But there's still like old ploughing equipment just left. So, you know, I think this was when was this abandoned? 1920, it's like 100 years ago at least. It's been sat there. Wild. Over here somewhere, I think there's an old mill over here somewhere. So that's kind of what I'm on the hunt for. It's mad as well, just like so surreal, just watching the kangaroos kind of just down there, just jumping around the place, and yeah, it's wild being here. Got Mount Moriah in the background up there, on Moriah Island. I think it was actually named Moriah after Van Diemen, who was I think one of the first people to come here. And his wife was named Mariah or Maria, and so it was named after her. It's quite cool having an island named after you, isn't it? It's nice, thought that. Just following this old track here up to the sort of old windmill on the top of the hill, where a couple of kangaroos just chilling in front of me. One's sort of lazing in the sun, one's having a bit of a walk in and eat. There's a couple more then just down this little grassy valley as well. Oh, and some of the bushes as well, just chilling. Very surreal. Wild how quickly they go, to be fair to them. That's a big old beastie, this one. That is a big old kangaroo. This is a lovely little sandy headland found here. It's really interesting. There's a gate, actually, a fence running all the way along this peninsula, this headland. It's not locked. There's a gate there that's just, you can just open and step through. So they're not trying to keep people out. I'm assuming they're just trying to keep animals out, maybe. I know something that did happen on Maria Island. So Tasmanian devils, there's a cancer that they that turned up in Tasmania, and it's a facial cancer. The Tasmanian devils, they feed off carrion, so they feed off, there'll be a dead animal somewhere, a load of them will get attracted in with the smell, and then they'll end up competing for that animal, biting each other and things like this. They transferred this cancer through the Tasmanian devil population, and they thought at one point Tasmanian devils were going to go extinct in the wilds. This wasn't even that long ago. So what they did was they bred a lot of Tasmanian devils in captivity, so they wouldn't be exposed to this cancer from other Tasmanian devils. They found populations that weren't affected by this cancer, and then what they did, they brought these to the island here, to Maria Island, to create a Noah's Ark population of Tasmanian devils. So this is a cancer-free island for Tasmanian devils. So if the rest of them went extinct from this cancer on the mainland, at least you have a breeding population. Well, they didn't quite take into account though, because Tasmanian devils are carnivores, because they love meat. On this island, there was a population of 2,000 to 3,000 penguins. Little penguins there, I can't remember what they're called, like little blues or something like that. So there's a population of penguins living here. Then within about 5 years of the Tasmanian devils being introduced to the Maria Island, the entire penguin population was eaten pretty much by the Tasmanian devils. So that would be my guess. Maybe this is something they've started to find penguins using the island again, so they maybe just try to create a Tasmanian devil-free zone for them potentially. I don't know. That'd be a very far-reaching and a far guess. But yeah, it's phenomenal looking out on this sound here. I'm seeing like spurts of water coming up every now and then as I was talking then. So there's a lot of dolphins and stuff in the area as well, seagulls. Yeah, it's a real wild little place, this. It's beautiful. We start heading back now before it gets too dark. I said I've only gone for half hour. It's been quite a while already. What I've got here is the old mill that would have been here, windmill, for milling the wheat and the corn or whatever they were growing, and the land around here. And you've got the old farmhouse then next door to it here. Oh, you can still see some of the beams on that. It would have run through. Wow, big old chunky beams. Yeah, it's mad, there's a little ruin there. Wild. I'm just going to start heading back to the campsite now. Just, still enjoying the views though. Enjoying seeing out the wildlife, the kangaroos just cruising around, the wombats just chilling. It's so surreal on what is this like monstrous big island. Wild place. Oh, the kangaroos just running there, bouncing, jumping. Yeah, wild place. The ocean out there. Whoa, very cool. Lovely, we are all packed up and ready to go. We're both pretty shattered last night, so I think we were asleep by like 8:30. Slept at about 8 o'clock this morning, so feeling refreshed and reinvigorated. We realised we haven't packed quite as much food as we thought, so we are on rations for the day today, but it should be right. We've only got like 11k along quite a nice track to get us back to Darlington to catch the ferry. We're not going to have a chance to go and visit the isthmus, which is a bit annoying. I'll see if I can show it to you through here. It's beautiful, but hopefully we'll see a couple of other nice beaches along the way. It's the isthmus. Oh, hang on, let me zoom in. So the isthmus, we're not going to get a chance to visit it, but it's like, it's that bit of sand there that connects the south half of the island and the north half of the island. So it is just a giant sandbar that connects the two bits of island together. So I was really hoping to go and visit that, but yeah, we haven't got time. It's a bit annoying, but that's alright. We've seen a couple of really other really cool ones along the way. There's a load of fish as well kind of jumping in this little bay here. So there must be something out there hunting and eating and feeding and stuff like that. It is absolutely beautiful though. There's a couple of boats were harboured in this sort of natural harbour here last night from the wind because it was still pretty strong into the night. What a lovely place to wake up on a boat though. It would be beautiful. Yeah, but back to it, back to walking. How much it would be nice to be on a little sailing boat though, wouldn't it? And just cruise your way around. Oh. Or even on a bike. And the bike would be good fun. But yeah, cool, I'll keep you updated on the day. Just come across this little wallaby. We're just walking down the path. Just chilling. Because they've got no predators. They're very relaxed. Nice, yeah, so we've just been, saw those cool little wallabies then. We've just been mooching along nicely. We're, can't remember what creek this is called, but we're going to kind of follow it down now, down to the sea. And we'll, yeah, gonna have a little chill at the beach for a little minute. Have a little snack, maybe something to drink. Maybe go and dip our toes in, we'll see. Doing alright, I think we're doing quite well for time. Then, just over 6.5 Ks. I think we've got 11 to do. Just to make sure we definitely need to get back for our ferry, which is at 2:30. So yeah, mooching along nicely. What a beautiful view. We are on this glorious white sanded turquoise watered beach. Gonna have a little bit of a snack in some water and definitely go and have a dip my toes in. Might even go for a little swim because it is that lovely. Look at that. Oh, can he beat that? Imagine it's bloody freezing now. Looks nice. Oh, lovely, I'm in. It is absolutely freezing the water. Although it does look pristine and lovely on this beach. This water just comes straight from the Southern Ocean, which is literally, I don't know, like the other side of that hill. And then you've got the Southern Ocean, so yeah. And then you hit Antarctica. So it's pretty cold and quite far away. But this is nice though. Just walking around it, it's lovely. It's been so hot and sticky the last few days. Gorgeous on this beach. Oh, can't beat it. I've just come around to an area called the Painted Cliffs. It's this really cool little sandstone outcrop. and it's like, it's real white sandstone but mixed in really dark and orange colours. It's really impressive. Some areas, like this bit next to us here, but by the looks of it, something, I think from what I've read, is that some of the some iron-rich deposits are above it in the water. The iron-rich water's come down, then leached in through little crack lines and then out into the rock, just to create these massive, vivid sort of, almost like contour lines, like colours on the rock. So there's this entire kind of rock face along here, just full of it. It's really impressive. And it's kind of like framed by this brilliant turquoise sea. It's a cool place. Lovely, just coming back into Darlington. You can see the ferry parked up over there at the moment. It's going to meander down Social Media Hill, Instagram Influencer Hill. That's where I should be. Now we're back in Darlington for a cup of tea. Bloody beautiful. Absolutely bloody beautiful. Lovely, yeah, we've just arrived back at Darlington, signed back in on the walkers registration form, and now we're just meandering down to the ferry. So our ferry's due to leave in about half hour. So we'll go and get ourselves there early, and yeah, we'll probably have to dump my bag in with the, because it's a bit big for carry-on probably, so I'll have to go dump it in the big tank thing that they then shift onto the ferry, and then we'll be away. Here we are at the ferry port, just kind of relaxing, having a final cup of tea, a little dip of the feet, and then yeah, we're on our way back to the mainland, and then continuing on with our journey. So yeah, thanks for coming along on this one, and yeah, I'll do something else at some point soon. Ta-da!